A massive U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, the epitome of American naval power, suddenly comes face to face with a Russian submarine, a silent predator lurking beneath the waves. Armed with advanced weaponry and cloaked in near-invisible stealth, the Russian sub makes its bold move, inching dangerously close to one of the world's most formidable warships. Why was it there? What message was Moscow trying to send? And how did the U.S. Navy respond to this high-stakes encounter on the open seas? This isn't just a story about military hardware. This is a showdown with global implications. One wrong move, and the world could be staring at a disaster of unimaginable proportions. Get ready to dive deep into the tension, the tactics, and the power play that unfolded when the U.S. Navy's aircraft carrier went face-to-face with a Russian submarine. A U.S. Navy carrier strike group, bristling with firepower, is on a routine patrol. Unbeknownst to the thousands of sailors on board, deep beneath the surface lurks a Russian submarine. Its crew, trained to blend into the ocean's silence, watches every move, calculating whether to remain hidden or reveal its presence. This isn't just a battle of machines, it's a high-stakes chess game where every move could determine the balance of power at sea. Aircraft carriers are often described as floating cities, complete with their own air force, command centers, and defensive systems. But what makes these colossal vessels so vital to naval power is also what makes them vulnerable. Enter the submarine, the silent hunter of the seas. In this opening chapter, we'll examine why the interplay between carriers and submarines has defined modern naval strategy for decades. The cat-and-mouse game between aircraft carriers and submarines isn't new. During World War II, submarines played a critical role in naval warfare, with German U-boats causing havoc in the Atlantic, while Allied forces developed tactics to counter them. One of the most notable examples of a carrier-submarine confrontation occurred during the Pacific War, when Japan's Bu-58 submarine sank the USS Indianapolis, leading to a tragic loss of life. Post-war, the development of nuclear-powered submarines like the Soviet Typhoon class and American Los Angeles class marked a new chapter in naval warfare. These submarines could stay submerged for months and operate across the globe, posing a formidable challenge to surface fleets. Aircraft carriers, in turn, evolved to include advanced sonar systems, dedicated anti-submarine helicopters, and escort ships designed to protect them from underwater threats. Submarines are often called the silent killers of the sea for a reason. Their stealth capabilities allow them to operate undetected in enemy waters, gathering intelligence, laying mines, or launching devastating torpedo attacks. Russian submarines in particular have earned a reputation for their advanced technology and operational secrecy. Take, for example, the Yasin-class submarine. It's designed with low acoustic signatures, making it extremely hard to detect. Armed with long-range cruise missiles and torpedoes, a single Yasin-class sub can disrupt an entire carrier strike group. Moreover, submarines use the ocean's natural thermal layers to evade detection, effectively hiding in plain sight. Aircraft carriers are not alone at sea. They operate as part of a carrier strike group, CSG. This ensemble typically includes guided missile cruisers, destroyers, and submarines, all working together to shield the carrier from threats. At the center of this formation is the carrier itself, such as the USS Gerald R. Ford. Boasting state-of-the-art radar systems, electromagnetic catapults, and over 75 aircraft, these carriers are a force to be reckoned with. The strike group's destroyers and cruisers are equipped with powerful sonar systems, anti-submarine weapons, and missile defenses to detect and neutralize any approaching submarine. Russia's submarine fleet is among the most advanced and diverse in the world, ranging from ballistic missile submarines, SSBNs, to fast attack submarines, SSNs. The Borei-class SSBN, for instance, is a cornerstone of Russia's nuclear triad, capable of launching intercontinental ballistic missiles from underwater. Then there's the Akula and Yasin-class submarines, designed for stealth and offensive capabilities. Armed with caliber cruise missiles, these submarines can strike targets over 1,000 miles away, potentially crippling a carrier group before it knows what hit it. These vessels are built to dominate the depths, equipped with cutting-edge technology that challenges even the most sophisticated U.S. Navy defenses. Detecting submarines. Detecting a submarine is no small feat, especially when dealing with modern stealthy designs. Aircraft carriers rely on a combination of assets to hunt submarines. Advanced sonar arrays on escort ships create a detection network around the carrier. Passive sonar listens for submarine noise, while active sonar sends out pings to detect objects. Aircraft like the MH-60R Seahawk are equipped with dipping sonar and torpedoes capable of locating and attacking submarines. The P-8 Poseidon, with its advanced sensors and sonobuoys, plays a critical role in detecting submarines from the air. U.S. carrier strike groups often include nuclear-powered attack submarines, which act as a first line of defense against enemy subs. This layered approach ensures that no single submarine can get too close without being detected and neutralized. A U.S. Navy carrier strike group is conducting operations in the North Atlantic. Suddenly, a Russian Yasin-class submarine lurking at a depth of 500 meters detects the carrier's presence through passive sonar. It begins shadowing the group, staying just outside the sonar range of the escorts. As the submarine moves into position, its commander faces a choice: engage the carrier or remain hidden. The carrier's ASW helicopters begin deploying sonobuoys to locate the sub, creating a tense standoff. The submarine, utilizing countermeasures like decoys and noise-masking technology, attempts to evade detection while calculating an attack vector. This hypothetical standoff underscores the razor-thin margin for error in modern naval warfare. A single miscalculation could escalate into a full-scale conflict, highlighting the high stakes involved in carrier-submarine encounters. When a Russian submarine and a U.S. carrier strike group find themselves in close proximity, the decisions made in those moments can determine the outcome of the confrontation, and potentially the fate of global security. Submarine commanders rely on stealth and intelligence to maneuver undetected. They must consider whether to remain passive, monitoring the carrier strike group's movements, or take a more aggressive approach by positioning themselves for an attack. However, firing upon a carrier strike group is no small task. Advanced defensive systems like the Aegis combat system can intercept torpedoes and missiles, forcing submarines to calculate the risks carefully. From the carrier's perspective, the primary goal is to eliminate the threat before it becomes imminent. Anti-submarine warfare assets, such as the P-8 Poseidon aircraft, work to locate and track the submarine's movements. The moment a submarine's location is confirmed, the strike group deploys countermeasures like torpedoes or depth charges, neutralizing the threat before it can strike. Evolving responses to modern threats. High-tension naval encounters place immense psychological stress on personnel, demanding exceptional professionalism and composure. As these incidents become more frequent, training programs may adapt to include a stronger focus on psychological preparedness. This ensures that sailors and officers can maintain clear judgment and make sound decisions under pressure. At the same time, the environmental impact of intensified naval activities is an increasing concern. For instance, the use of sonar disrupts marine mammal communication and navigation. Future naval strategies may need to balance operational demands with environmental stewardship. This could lead to the development of eco-friendly detection technologies and quieter propulsion systems. Additionally, nations may establish quiet zones in sensitive ecological areas, restricting naval operations to protect marine life. Balancing national security with environmental protection will remain a significant challenge. The role of diplomacy and law in naval tensions. To manage such encounters, there may be a push to strengthen diplomatic frameworks. This could involve establishing joint working groups or enhancing military-to-military communication channels to ensure rapid de-escalation during crises. International maritime law might also evolve to address the complexities of modern naval operations, such as clarifying rules for submarines operating in international waters and defining acceptable proximity to foreign naval assets. The changing landscape of naval warfare. The recent encounter involving an advanced Russian submarine near a U.S. carrier strike group underscores the shifting dynamics of naval warfare. It demonstrates Russia's ability to project power far from its shores, challenging the traditional dominance of carrier groups in maritime strategy. This incident may prompt a re-evaluation of carrier group vulnerabilities and drive investments in anti-submarine warfare (ASW) capabilities. In response, the U.S. Navy might accelerate the development of new detection technologies and tactics to counter increasingly stealthy and capable submarines. The strategic balance between submarines and surface fleets is also in question. While aircraft carriers remain essential for projecting air power, advanced submarines like the Kazan expose their vulnerabilities. This evolving dynamic may lead to shifts in naval doctrine, with greater emphasis on submarine operations and ASW in future conflicts. It could also inspire innovations in carrier design and protective measures, enhancing their resilience against underwater threats. Diplomatic strain in U.S.-Russia relations. On the diplomatic front, this incident adds complexity to already tense U.S.-Russia relations. It highlights the urgent need for clearer maritime protocols to prevent misunderstandings and conflicts at sea. Government officials from both nations are likely to engage in delicate negotiations, aiming to assert their interests while avoiding escalation. The right to operate in international waters is a fundamental principle for both nations, but when military vessels, especially submarines, come too close to foreign naval groups, it can be perceived as provocative. This recent encounter could have significant implications for upcoming arms control negotiations and discussions about naval force structures. The incident raises important questions about how international maritime law is interpreted and applied. While both the U.S. and Russia have the right to operate in international waters, the proximity of military vessels, particularly submarines, to foreign assets may be seen as a provocation. This could lead to discussions in international forums about establishing clearer guidelines for military operations in these waters, especially concerning submarine activities near foreign naval forces. The presence of a Russian naval force near Cuba and their transit along the U.S. East Coast has wider implications for regional security. It could prompt greater cooperation between the U.S. and its Caribbean and Latin American allies to counter Russian influence in the region. NATO allies, particularly those with Atlantic coastlines, may also seek reassurances and increased naval cooperation with the U.S. in response to Russia's ability to operate advanced submarines far from its own waters. As we consider the complex diplomatic challenges posed by these naval encounters, it's worth reflecting on their broader implications. How do these submarine incidents impact international relations beyond the military sphere? Could they influence trade agreements, cultural exchanges, or global cooperation on issues like climate change? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Before we continue, we invite you to join our channel as a member. Your support helps us keep producing these in-depth videos about the U.S. Navy and serves as a tribute to all the veterans who watch. Simply head to the link in the description or visit our channel page and select Join. Thank you for your support. Now, let's get back to the topic. As submarine technology continues to evolve, similar encounters are likely to become more frequent and increasingly difficult to manage. Both the U.S. and Russia will likely continue investing heavily in quieter submarines and more advanced detection systems, driving the ongoing technological competition beneath the waves. The recent sighting of a Russian submarine near a U.S. carrier group will undoubtedly influence future naval operations and exercises. Both nations may adjust their training regimens to better prepare for such encounters, focusing on improving coordination between surface ships, aircraft, and submarines. There may also be a renewed emphasis on developing autonomous systems for submarine detection and tracking. Unmanned underwater vehicles, UUVs, and AI-powered analysis tools could play a more significant role in maintaining continuous surveillance over vast ocean areas. Artificial intelligence, AI, is becoming increasingly important in naval operations, particularly in anti-submarine warfare. AI algorithms could enhance the analysis of sonar data, detecting submarine signatures that might be missed by human operators. Machine learning models could predict submarine behavior based on historical data and real-time inputs, providing valuable insights for tactical decision-making. AI could also be integrated into autonomous underwater vehicles, making submarine hunting more effective and persistent. These AI-driven systems could operate for extended periods, continually adapting their search patterns based on environmental conditions and detected anomalies. However, despite the growing role of technology, the human element remains irreplaceable in naval operations. The judgment and experience of naval officers and crew members are crucial, especially in complex, high-pressure situations like submarine encounters. Training programs will likely evolve to balance technical skills with critical thinking and decision-making abilities. Simulators using virtual and augmented reality could offer more realistic training scenarios, better preparing personnel for the challenges of modern naval warfare. As naval systems become increasingly advanced and interconnected, cybersecurity is becoming a critical concern. Future submarine encounters may not only involve physical confrontations, but also electronic warfare and cyber operations. Navies will need to make significant investments in securing their communications, navigation, and weapons systems from cyber threats. This could lead to the development of new specialized roles within naval forces focused on both cyber defense and offensive cyber capabilities. The evolution of underwater warfare. Looking ahead, the nature of underwater warfare is set to change dramatically. Advancements in quantum sensing, new materials, and energy storage could revolutionize both submarine capabilities and detection methods. Future submarines may become smaller, more automated, and capable of operating for longer periods underwater. At the same time, anti-submarine warfare could increasingly rely on networks of autonomous sensors and unmanned vessels, creating a more complex underwater battlefield. As AI and autonomous systems become more prevalent in naval operations, ethical concerns will come to the forefront. Questions about the level of human control required in weapon systems, the potential for AI-driven escalation, and the implications of fully autonomous naval vessels will need to be addressed. Ethical and international considerations. International agreements and protocols may need to be developed to regulate the use of AI in military operations, especially in potentially volatile situations like submarine encounters. As we move forward, the lessons learned from these encounters will shape the development of naval doctrines, technologies, and international protocols, influencing the future of maritime security well into the 21st century and beyond. The future of submarine encounters. So, what do you think? Will the increasing frequency of submarine encounters between major powers lead to new international agreements on underwater operations, or will it create a more competitive and potentially dangerous maritime environment? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content about the U.S. Navy. We appreciate your support and hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to click the bell icon to stay updated on our next video.